Welcome, everyone. If you would like subtitles for today's ceremony, they will be available in English and in Spanish on the main Rhodes College webpage, rhodes.edu. Bienvenidos a todos. Para los que quisieran subtítulos para la ceremonia de hoy, estarán disponibles en inglés o español a través de la página principal de Rhodes College, rhodes.edu.
Good morning, and please take your seats. I am President Jennifer Collins, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the commencement exercises for the 177th session of Rhodes College. We are so delighted to gather here today to celebrate the extraordinary class of 2026. At this time, I would like to welcome Reverend Beatrix Wild to the podium to give this morning's invocation.
I invite you to take a deep breath and join me in a posture of reflection and prayer. May we be centered in this moment, present in the here and now. May we be grounded in gratitude, stable amid uncertainty. May we be backed up by our ancestors and everyone who sacrificed to bring us to this day. May we be led by dreams and curiosity, thirst for truth and justice and joy. May we be guided on either side by love for our neighbor. May we be shielded overhead and protected as we go forth. May the blessing of our education be a blessing to others. Amen. At this time, I would like to ask President Jennifer Collins to return to the podium to give this morning's address.
To our graduates, we are all so incredibly proud of you. Your class will always hold a particularly special place in my heart because we started as first years together in the summer of 2022. And you were the first class that I have had the privilege of being with for all 4 years of your time at Rhodes. And what a privilege and an honor that has been. You have mastered our challenging curriculum. You have participated in too many student organizations and activities to count. You have served our campus community and our beloved city, and you have lived up to the ideals of our honor code and our deeply held community values. You are more than ready for the next step in a life that promises to be amazing. You, of course, did not get here alone. There are so many people who supported you and cheered you on every step of the way. Let's take a moment to celebrate all the people who believed in you. And if I call out a group that you're a part of in the audience, I encourage you to please stand up so we can celebrate you. Let's say thank you to your parents and grandparents, your sisters and brothers, and your extended family who support you in all that you do. Let's celebrate your friends from home and at Rhodes who are there for you whenever you need them. Let's honor the remarkable faculty and staff at Rhodes College who have dedicated their lives to ensuring that you have a transformative education. Thank you to our faculty and staff. The generous donors who provided your scholarships and built the beautiful campus on which you lived and learned, and the alumni who are part of a lifelong network of friends and supporters who will extend a helping hand whenever you look to transition to a new city or a new career. Can our alumni please stand up? And all the members of the Memphis community who have welcomed you into their city as neighbors and friends, we are so grateful for you. Class of 2026, please join me in a last round of applause for everyone who has made your graduation possible. At Rhodes, we measure the value of your education, not only by what it does for you, but also by what it enables you to do for the world. You are now equipped with the tools and the power to make a real difference in a world that desperately needs your leadership, your vision, and your compassion. We want to see you living out the meaning of the Rhodes vision by translating academic study and personal concern into effective leadership and action in your communities and throughout the world. You leave Rhodes today, but Rhodes does not leave you. As much as this college means to you now, it will mean even more in the days ahead. Please keep in touch, remain involved, and stay connected. We are so grateful for your 4 years with us and so excited for all the adventures to come for you. The bell of Halliburton Tower, which peals for you today, has words by T.S. Eliot inscribed within it. Not farewell, but fare forward, voyagers. Fare forward, Lynx. My heartfelt wish for you is that you find work that brings you joy, family and friends who surround you in love, and the courage to get out there and change this world for the better. Class of 2026, congratulations. Now, Dr. Elaine Frawley, Associate Professor of Biology and President of the Rhodes College chapter of Phi Beta Kappa, will now present this year's Phi Beta Kappa Peyton Nall Rhodes Prize. Dr. Frawley.
Thank you, President Collins. Phi Beta Kappa, the nation's oldest academic honor society, champions the liberal arts, the arts of intellectual freedom. Instrumental in securing our chapter's 1949 charter was Dr. Peyton Nall Rhodes, longtime professor of physics and later president of the college. In his honor, our chapter annually presents the Rhodes Prize, the college's highest academic distinction, to the graduating senior who best exemplifies the spirit of the liberal arts and Phi Beta Kappa's motto, Philosophia Biu Kubernetes, the love of learning is the guide of life. I would now like to invite this year's Rhodes Prize recipient to join me on the platform. Grace Ann Hodgson, will you please come to the stage? Grace Ann, This morning, you are receiving a Bachelor of Arts in History, a Bachelor of Science in Biology, and a minor in French and Francophone Studies. You conducted research in biology on solitary bees and in gender and sexuality studies rooted in French and history. Through your history fellowship, you completed a publication quality translation of Pierre Schondorfer's novel about the First Indochina War, La 317e section, a work for which no published English version previously existed. The breadth and depth of your engagement in the liberal arts is remarkable. You view biology and history as two aspects of the same intellectual mission to address questions about how diversity, pressure, adaptation, and change have shaped where we've come from, who we are now, and where we might go in the future. Your artist's imagination and evolutionary biologist's mind lead you to contemplate what long ago ancestors might have looked like and how they might have behaved. You called these big questions questions that rest in your mind and in your heart, and you called your academics a calling. The liberal arts have become not just something you do in campus classrooms, but an experience that shapes your very being. The Grace Ann, who was reluctant to face challenging situations without guarantee of success, has become the Grace Ann who reflexively and joyfully finds opportunity for inspiration and learning in the uncomfortable and the unfamiliar. Some of the most beautiful lessons you have learned about the emancipatory power of education came from helping others learn and learning from them in return. As a tutor, helping students personally connect to challenging material. As a supplemental instructor, reimagining course material for biology students, with help from your cat, Earl. As an interpretive ranger, sharing the wonders of evolutionary biology with park visitors. And as an active participant in each course you have taken, you bring an infectious enthusiasm that elevates the intellectual energy of the space. Your ability to connect concepts to big ideas within your disciplines and beyond invites others to contemplate new ideas of their own. One recommender called you one of the most intellectually vibrant students I've encountered and admired your willingness to wander beyond the strict boundaries of an assignment, seeking out resources and tools driven by genuine intellectual curiosity. Another shared that your deeply thoughtful and original comments on class readings created the sort of atmosphere for profound learning about which professors dream. The unbridled joy and fierce intellectual ability with which you approached your studies has been a force for transformation for you, for your classmates, and for your faculty. Grace Ann, for your critical and comprehensive exploration of the liberal arts, your unparalleled academic achievements, and the love of learning you eagerly share with all you encounter, it is my pleasure to bestow upon you the Peyton Nell Rhodes Phi Beta Kappa Prize. Congratulations. At this time, I'd like to introduce Nicole Johnson, Vice President for Student Life, who will present the Algernon Sidney Sullivan Student Awards.
Each year, in cooperation with the New York Southern Society, Rhodes presents the Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award. This year, it is my honor to present this prestigious award to two members of the class of 2026. These students have been nominated for the award by their peers and have exemplified excellence of character in service to humanity. Abigail Figueroa, will you please join me at the podium? Come on this side. As a psychology major from Los Angeles, California, Abigail Figueroa has intentionally built a connection between Rhodes and the Memphis community through her consistent service, leadership over the course of time here, where she has served as a Bonner Scholar. One nominator shared, I am honored to nominate the student for her dedication to service, her meaningful contributions to both the Rhodes College and Memphis communities. Abigail's long-term involvement with Room in the Inn exemplifies this commitment. She has devoted countless hours to supporting individuals experiencing homelessness, ensuring that they feel respected and valued. She has also expanded the organization's reach by translating documents and program materials for Spanish-speaking families, helping making essential resources more accessible. Abigail has served as a member of Bonner Leadership Team and a Bonner Center intern, where she has played an integral role in supporting fellow Bonner scholars, strengthening community partner relationships, and advancing the Bonner Center's digital outreach, and helping deepen engagement among students and alumni. Beyond her work with Bonner, Abigail serves as the vice president of both of Kinney Program and Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. A true champion of community involvement and student engagement, she consistently encouraged her peers to build meaningful relationships across both Rhodes and the Memphis communities. A final nominator shared, although she carries herself with a quiet, humble nature, her impact speaks loudly through her compassion, kindness, and selfless actions. She not only supports those around her, but also lends a helping hand even when others may not openly express the need for support. Abigail leaves a lasting impact on everyone fortunate enough to know her. It is my great honor to recognize Abigail Figueroa as a recipient of the Algernon Sidney Sullivan Student Award for the class of 2026. Now, will Jasmine Jeffries, will you please join me at the podium? An art history major with double minors in art and educational studies, Jasmine has spent her years at Rhodes using art to build connection and community. A proud Memphian and Clarence Day Scholar, she has immersed herself in organizations across campus and the city, touching lives with her creativity, leadership, and unmistakable warmth. Most recently, Jasmine helped plan Memphis's first children's film festival through her work with Like You Children's Film Festival. Her research for the project, including creating an original children's book, earned her recognition as a Clarence Day Fellow. One nominator captured her impact best. I have never met a soul as bright and warm as Jasmine. No one else I know has given away so much time and energy to others. Her commitment to the arts extends beyond campus through internships, fellowships with the Germantown Community Theater, the Brooks Museum of Art, and the Memphis Art Project. Her curiosity has taken her far beyond Memphis as well, leading her to study abroad in Tokyo and participate in Maymester program in Ecuador. On campus, Jasmine's leadership is felt everywhere. She has served as vice president of Alpha Omicron Pi, a senior fellow in admission, a peer assistant, an access mentor, and a set designer for the Theater Guild. As a dedicated member of the Rhodes Activity Board, she has helped shape beloved traditions, including Rights Fest, the Last Day of Classes celebration, Bloom Bar, and the Cookie Dough Craze. As another nominator wrote, Jasmine makes others feel seen, valued, and comfortable simply by being who she is. It is my great honor to recognize Jasmine Jeffries as a recipient of the Algernon Sidney Sullivan Student Award for the class of 2026. Congratulations. At this time, I would like to welcome Provost Tim Huebner to the podium to present this year's non-student Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award.
The Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award is also presented annually to a non-student who has given selflessly to our community. I'm honored to announce today's recipient of the Algernon Sidney Sullivan Non-Student Award. Professor David McCarthy, will you please join me at the podium? Professor David McCarthy joined Rhodes College in 1991, and for 35 years he has embodied the best of this community: intellectual passion, deep commitment to students, and a belief in the transformative power of the liberal arts. Colleagues describe him as passionate, inspiring, and, quote, an art nerd in the best possible sense. Students call his lectures electric, immersive, and demanding. Some initially find his classroom intimidating, but not because he is unkind, but because he treats his students as genuine scholars whose ideas deserve to be taken seriously. Despite his stature in the art history world, David has always welcomed student perspectives, noting that their experiences often lead discussions in unexpected and illuminating directions. He has consistently brought students into collaborative research, exhibitions, and archival work with institutions such as the Memphis Brooks Museum of Art, showing them that rigorous intellectual work can also be public, creative, and humane. Whether teaching students to look closely at a painting, write with precision, or ask difficult questions about culture and power, he has pushed them to engage the world with greater thoughtfulness and courage. David's influence extends far beyond the classroom. An internationally respected scholar, he has examined how artists illuminate the political, cultural, and moral tensions of their time. His books and scholarship on pop art, anti-war art, modern American art, and artists such as H.C. Westerman have been published and translated internationally, establishing him as a leading voice in the field. His research has earned fellowships from the Smithsonian Institution and recognition across the discipline. David has shaped generations of students and helped define the character of Rhodes itself. His teaching, scholarship, and gallery work earned him the Clarence Day Award for Outstanding Research and Creative Activity in 2004, and the Clarence Day Award for Outstanding Teaching in 2023. In recognition of his extraordinary impact on students, alumni, faculty, staff, and the broader Rhodes community, it is my great honor to present Professor David McCarthy with the Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award. At this time, I would like to welcome President Jennifer Collins to the podium to present this year's Distinguished Service Medal.
I am honored to announce the recipient of this year's Distinguished Service Medal, an award that recognizes those individuals who have given selflessly to the college. Richard Huddleston, will you please join me at the podium? Richard Huddleston arrived on campus as a student in the early 1980s and has never left. Upon graduation in 1984, Richard decided to accept a job working in the Rhodes accounting office until he could figure out what he wanted to do with his life. 42 years later, he finally figured it out: retirement. During his time as bursar, Richard has been an absolute rock for the college. His calm, patient, and positive demeanor, especially when navigating challenging situations, assisting students and families with billing questions, or guiding the college through multiple systems conversions, has been exactly what Rhodes needed in this critical role. Richard's dedication is matched only by his determination to get things done correctly, on time, and without fanfare. His willingness to take on tasks simply because they needed doing, even when they fell outside any formal job description, made him someone leadership could always rely upon. He embodies service in his purest form. As an example, Richard is likely the only bursar in the country who also has responsibility for the college's phone system. If he were not here receiving this award, he would be in his office, answering the college's switchboard, responding to questions, and providing information about the commencement ceremony. In recognition of Richard's 42-year commitment to Rhodes and our wonderful community, I am honored to bestow the Rhodes College Distinguished Service Medal upon Richard Huddleston on this 16th day of May, 2026. Congratulations. I now invite the chair of the Rhodes College Board of Trustees, Deborah Craddock, to the podium to present this year's honorary degree.
I am honored to award the college's honorary degree. Dorothy Wells, will you please join me at the podium? Dorothy Sanders Wells has devoted her life to service through her profession, her leadership, and her faith. 2 years ago, she made history when she was elected Bishop of the Episcopal Diocese of Mississippi, becoming the first woman and the first Black person to hold that office. Arriving at Rhodes from Mobile, Alabama, Bishop Wells distinguished herself as a gifted vocal performance student and was the first Black student inducted into Phi Beta Kappa. She went on to earn a JD from the University of Memphis and built an accomplished 18-year legal career, first at a local firm and later as a corporate attorney for FedEx. Answering a call to ministry, she was ordained to the priesthood and served as rector of St. George's Episcopal Church in Germantown, Tennessee, from 2013 until her election as bishop. Throughout her career, Bishop Wells has remained a steadfast supporter of Rhodes. She has served on the Alumni Association Executive Board, received the Black Student Association's Distinguished Alumni Award in 2011, and was honored with the Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award at Commencement in 2015. Her commitment to service extends deeply into the Memphis community as well. She's been actively involved with MIFA, Church Health, Community Alliance for the Homeless, and Room in the Inn, Memphis, offering leadership and compassion wherever she is called. For her leadership, commitment to her profession, and service to Rhodes College, I am pleased to bestow upon the Right Reverend Dr. Dorothy Sanders Wells the Doctor of Humanities, honoris causa, this 16th day of May, 2026.
Let us now move to the conferring of degrees. Dr. Hubner.
Thank you, President Collins. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts please rise? Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science please rise? Will the candidates for both the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science please rise? Will the candidates for the Post-Baccalaureate Certificate in Health Equity please rise? Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Science please rise? Madam President, I have the honor to present the following members of the class of 2026 who have completed all the stated requirements and whose names will hereafter be read.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the State of Tennessee and the Rhodes College Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree that you have earned. My sincere congratulations to each of you.
Will the first row of candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree stay standing? Others, please be seated. Sydney Grace Adams, Psychology and Educational Studies, a double major, magna cum laude. Abna Afrakoma Owusu Afriye, Political Science, cum laude. Matthew Clancy All, Business, cum laude. Ava Alberti, Psychology, cum laude. Harper Naveed Alay Press, Psychology, magna cum laude. Graham Williams Allen, Business. Camden Anderson, Philosophy, Politics, and Economics. Christian Tolliver Dignos Arnold, Economics and Business, cum laude. Astrid Brinker Lawrence Balink, Mathematics and Economics, magna cum laude. Olivia Barfield, Psychology. Xavier Bartleywood, Business. Matthew Imani Baymiller, Political Science, International Studies, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Audra Joyce Bell, Philosophy, Politics, and Economics, cum laude. Drishti Bhatia, Mathematics and Economics. Elsa Brianne Billingsley, Political Science, cum laude. Daniel Kane Bleich, History. Nessa Delaney Blair, Political Science and Media Studies, a double major, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Oliver C. Bonovich, Philosophy, magna cum laude. Ruchi Milland Borker, Political Science, International Studies, cum laude. Joseph Wyatt Bounds, Political Science. Isabella Mary Yan Boyd, English and Spanish, double major, magna cum laude. Claire Ann Bramlett, International Studies, cum laude. Maurice Liddell Brimage III, Business, cum laude. Carson Hasper Brinks, Business. Joseph Emerson Brunel, Political Science, cum laude. Anthony Rule Bruce, Psychology, cum laude. Auden James Brummer, Religious Studies and International Studies, a double major, magna cum laude. Molly Meredith Butler, English and Art History and German Studies, triple major, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Callista Elise Bird, Urban Studies. Camille Lee Carlton, History, magna cum laude, Honors Research. Rachel Elise Carroll, Health Equity, cum laude. Tanner Allen Chapman, History, International Studies, and Religious Studies, double major, cum laude. Camille A. Chase, Psychology. Ella Reese Coleman, English and Philosophy, double major, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Micaela Estrellita Colina, Media Studies and Art, a double major. Emmett Connolly, Business. Liam Thomas Conroy, Political Science, International Studies, cum laude. Karen Yareth Contreras Lopez, Business. Luke Cooper, Business. Savannah Elizabeth Cooper, Anthropology, Sociology. Luke Fitzgerald Counsel, Business, cum laude. Noah Henderson Crabtree, Political Science, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Sophia May Craycraft, English and Chinese Studies, double major, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Asher Daniel Crouch, Media Studies and Psychology, double major, cum laude. Grace Ellen Culver, Health Equity, magna cum laude. Hannah Bell Davis, Political Science and Educational Studies, a double major, cum laude. James Stafford Davis, Business, cum laude. Marina Christiane Grace DeCordray, Political Science. Kaylee Christian Doherty, Educational Studies and Psychology, double major, cum laude. Hayden Sage Dulce, Business. Sailor Wilkes Donaldson, Political Science and Africana Studies, double major, cum laude. Philip Christopher Randolph Dotson III, Media Studies. Evelyn Joy Drescher, Philosophy, Politics, and Economics, cum laude. Gina Michelle Dudley, Psychology, cum laude. Benjamin Wallace Eagleton, Mathematics and Economics, cum laude. Everett Embry, Media Studies, Urban Studies, cum laude. Zachary Aaron Fairber, Music. Matthew Connor Feast, Political Science. Abigail Figueroa, Psychology. Oscar Cristiano Flores, Economics, cum laude. William Tanner Flukinger, English, magna cum laude. Lucy Marie Fornetti, Mathematics and Economics, cum laude. Dahlia Channing Forster, Philosophy, Politics, and Economics, cum laude. Seth Mark Forstott, Political Science. Caden Anaya Foy, Economics and Business. Olivia Grace Freeman, Psychology, magna cum laude. Jack William Fulton, Political Science in absentia. Mason Allen Gantrish, Political Science. Winston Alden Gash, Business. Gabrielle R. Gavin, Psychology. Karen Gaitan, Psychology and Educational Studies, a double major, cum laude. Lydia Gabrizia Beher, History. Mackenzie Anita Gear, Business, magna cum laude. Zachary Scott Gilmore, Economics and Business, cum laude. Catherine Marie Mukami Githinji, Business and Urban Studies, double major. Amalia Claire Gamur, Health Equity and Educational Studies, double major. Lydia Grace Gold, International Studies and Chinese Studies, double major, magna cum laude. Grant E. Grabowski, English and Media Studies, double major, magna cum laude. Jason Hancock Dixon Gray, Environmental Studies, cum laude. Marcus Andre Gray, Latin American Latinx Studies and International Studies, double major, cum laude. Caleb LeBray Green, Media Studies. Hannah Grace Greenway, Urban Studies and German Studies, double major, magna cum laude. Lauren Elise Gregson, Psychology, magna cum laude. John Michael Gilliott, Business, cum laude. Caroline Elizabeth Hall, Educational Studies, cum laude. Lucia Ann Hall, Art, cum laude. John Vanel Hampton III, Business. Shay Elise Hannah, Business. Caroline Grace Hasty, Business and Spanish, double major, cum laude. Zoe Hannaline Haug, Political Science, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Ainsley Carter Hay, Health Equity and Environmental Studies, double major, cum laude. Ava Leslie Heinrich, Psychology in Absentia. Emma Paz Henniger, Educational Studies and Spanish, double major, magna cum laude. Cassidy Grace Hengold, Art, cum laude. Kimberly Hernandez, Russian Studies, International Studies, cum laude. Victoria Ann Hibbs, Russian Studies and International Studies, cum laude. Sam Horowitz, International Studies. Emma M. Horton, Anthropology, Sociology, cum laude. Catherine Marie Hauk, Urban Studies, magna cum laude. Juliette Lynn Howell, Philosophy, Politics, and Economics, cum laude. Jackson Huxtable, Media Studies. Jasmine Simone Jeffries, Art History. Caroline Elizabeth Johnson, Economics, cum laude. Hunter Robert Johnson, Economics. Ryan Albert Johnson, Psychology, cum laude. Charles Henry Jones, Philosophy, Politics, and Economics, cum laude. Kaylin Elizabeth Jordan, Political Science. John Juby, Political Science, cum laude. Caroline Smith Cardian, Business, cum laude. Spencer Mitchell Kowalik, Spanish. Melat Cabeda, Business, magna cum laude. Kate Madeline Keith, English and Philosophy, double major, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Grace Davis Kelly, Philosophy and French and Francophone Studies, double major, cum laude. Griffin Carter Kennemer, International Studies. Marta J. Knoll, History, magna cum laude. Michael Mason Knox, Psychology. Simran Shina Kumar, Psychology and Media Studies, double major, cum laude. Nick Kunst, Business. Reed Brigham Lampert, Business, cum laude, is traveling with the baseball team. Tyler Caitlin Lanier, Psychology. Ana De Silva Lay, English in absentia. Aiden Anthony Leach, Business. Kevin Q. Lechner, Music, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Addison Leonard, Business, cum laude. Leonora McCain Leopard, Media Studies. Isabel G. Leticia, Psychology and Health Equity, double major, magna cum laude. Penelope Ann Link, Art History and Urban Studies, double major, summa cum laude. Nora Ludke, International Studies, cum laude. Isabel Royce Luckmeyer, Political Science, cum laude. Madison Jewel Lyons, Health Equity. Ilari Calogera Macheta, Health Equity and Africana Studies, double major, in absentia. Olivia Julianne Mack, History and Educational Studies, double major. Christian Manella, Business, magna cum laude. Ismail A. Malik, Economics and Business, cum laude. Sandy Mansour, Psychology, cum laude. Avery Page Marsh, Business, cum laude. Ashlyn May Martin, Business. Rose Andra Martin, Psychology. Travis James Martin, Philosophy, Politics, and Economics. Mariana Martinez Perez, Philosophy. Daisy Montancillas, Educational Studies. Mackenzie Shea McCown, Business. Cole Bruce McNair, Business, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Aaron McTighe, English and German Studies, double major, summa cum laude. Tabitha Grace Meters, Anthropology, Sociology. Holland Isabel Mofield Boswell, Educational Studies and Religious Studies, double major, cum laude. Erin Nicole Moore, Art, magna cum laude. Rachel Meredith Moore, Data Analytics, cum laude. Riley Patricia Morgan, Psychology, cum laude. John Tarbutton Maury, Business, cum laude. Ariana Prabhashwari Musi, Political Science and International Studies, cum laude. Andrew Barnes Murphy, Political Science. Wyatt Calvin Muchler Lee, Data Analytics, magna cum laude. Sophia Marie Nappi, Psychology, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Rivers Alexander Nelson, History. Elaine T. Wynn, History and Political Science, double major, cum laude. Jason Najoga, Business. Hall Thomas Oakley, Media Studies. Alexandria Grace Oliver, Psychology, cum laude. Reese Jameson Owens, Psychology, cum laude. Lucas Romano Pagliarulo, Business, cum laude. Evan Pakrash Pant, philosophy, is traveling with the baseball team. Lily Gates Paris, media studies, cum laude. Smit Patel, business. Catherine Abigail Payton, business. Isaac Grady Pelletier, educational studies and urban studies, a double major. Emily Carey Pertweit, psychology, cum laude. Laurel Grace Phillips, philosophy and English, double major, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa, honors research. Peyton Bailey Phillips, political science, cum laude, is traveling with the baseball team. Dana Ruth Ellen Potter, psychology, cum laude. Sophia Rose Rawl, political science and urban studies, double major, magna cum laude. Cass Christopher Ramberg, business, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. John Mark Joseph Ranallo, business, cum laude, also traveling with the baseball team. James Peyton Randolph, economics and history, double major, cum laude. Mary Grace Rask, English, cum laude. Alana Elizabeth Reese Walker, art. Robert Hunter Reinfrank, philosophy, politics, and economics, cum laude. Blair E. Rice, psychology and philosophy, double major, cum laude. Caroline Elizabeth Richard, psychology, cum laude. Mark Jerome Richardson, business. Sarah Jane Ritchie, psychology, magna cum laude. Eliza Grace Richter, health equity. Madeline Michelle McBee Richter, psychology. Charlie Madison Robinson, art, magna cum laude. Lilia May Russell, psychology, magna cum laude. Joseph Matthew Salazar, economics and business, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Maya Miasar Saleh, international studies. George McKay Sally Jr., environmental studies. Madison Nicole Sample, philosophy and business, double major, cum laude. Caroline Marie Scow, political science. Julia Grace Schutza, psychology, cum laude. Karina Rose Schwab, psychology. Olivia Joy Schwem, psychology. John Whaley Seabolt, international studies and Chinese studies, double major, magna cum laude. Julianne Maron Sellers, psychology and educational studies, double major, cum laude. Sophonius Teshome Semi, Business. Tenny Grace Pauline Shepard, English and Media Studies, double major, cum laude. Sunny Joe Shelton, Music and Psychology, cum laude. Wallace Emery Sherman, Anthropology, Sociology, cum laude. Blake Hasian Shirley, English, cum laude. Nathan Philip Simon, Political Science, cum laude. William Patrick Seitz, Political Science, magna cum laude. Isabella Claire Slankard, Philosophy, Politics, and Economics and German Studies, double major, cum laude. Paxton Alexandra Smythe, Psychology. Caitlin Renee K.K. Sowers, Psychology, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa, Honors Research. Elizabeth C. Spears, Business, magna cum laude. Jasmine A. Stanley, Psychology. Ramsey Elizabeth Stevenson, Educational Studies. Sophia Harms Stevenson, Health Equity and Religious Studies, double major, cum laude. James Harrison Stewart, Economics. Crawford Gould Stratton, Media Studies, cum laude. Pfeiffer Strom, Anthropology, Sociology, cum laude. John Collins Sullivan, Educational Studies. Robin Lucian Sullivan, English and Chinese Studies, double major, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Stephen Davis Swoner, Business, cum laude. Catherine Olivia Tanner, International Studies and Spanish, double major. Christopher Chase Tarquinio, Religious Studies. Cyan Danelle Tate, Media Studies, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Emma Charlotte Taylor, Political Science, cum laude. Mohammed Taysir, International Studies. Taylor Grace Theophilides, Business. Lucia Ella Thomas, Business, magna cum laude. Ava Caroline Tai, Political Science, cum laude. Christopher John Tim, Spanish. Audrey Brewer Caitlin Todd, Political Science. Alexander Webster Trenchard, Economics. Maya T. Underwood, Philosophy, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Callie Margaret Enfe Ben Cleve, Russian Studies, International Studies, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Silvia Aurora Vasquez, Health Equity, cum laude. Robert Jackson Beanstra, Psychology. Jason Vianney, Economics and Business, magna cum laude. Kai Varani, Economics, cum laude. Georgiana Francesca Vlahakos, Educational Studies, summa cum laude. Michael Christopher Wagner, Psychology. Margaret Ann Wakefield, Political Science, summa cum laude. Wahid Winston Warren, Business, in absentia. Alec Riley Wasserman, Business. Natalie Watson, Urban Studies. Lawrence James Watts, Business. Hope Helena Judith Worley, Business, cum laude. Madison Elizabeth Werman, Psychology, cum laude. Benjamin Michael Werner, Psychology. McKenna Joy White, Psychology. Samuel Scott White, History, cum laude. Amelia Taylor Whitehead, Psychology. Anne Hanson Wilford, International Studies. Houston Blake Wilhelm, Economics and Business. Eva Victoria Wolf, English, magna cum laude. Kai Yang, Anthropology, Sociology, magna cum laude. Brandon Valentine Young, Economics and Business, cum laude. Nia Abdulwasi Yusuf, Health Equity, in absentia. Miriam Zaiden, Psychology, cum laude. Merritt Grace Zussinger, International Studies and Business, double major, cum laude. We now move to the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science. Olivia Grace Alejandre, Environmental Studies and Spanish, double major, magna cum laude. Carlin Ray Anderson, Biology, cum laude. Anna Lee Atkins, Biology, magna cum laude. Mohammed Alim Azer, Computer Science. Cecilia Marie Bailey, Computer Science, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Caitlin Bell Baker, Biology, cum laude. Megan Grace Baker, Biology, magna cum laude. William Chris Baker, Biology, cum laude. Oluwanfermi Nathaniel Bamikole, Computer Science. Mia Angelina Bannock, neuroscience, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Catherine Frances Barclay, neuroscience, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Megan Elise Bass, computer science, magna cum laude. Caroline Graham Beasley, chemistry. Emily Elizabeth Bingham, chemistry, magna cum laude. Willow Ann Blythe, biology and ancient Mediterranean studies, double major, magna cum laude. Harrison Michael Belkey, biology, magna cum laude. Jacqueline Ann Boyanchek, neuroscience, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Henry Hobbs Michael Brown, biology, magna cum laude. Barrett Garland Buchanan, chemistry, magna cum laude. Caroline Elizabeth Buendia, biology, magna cum laude. Jennifer Danby Bowie, biochemistry and molecular biology, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Sophia Cube Burke, biochemistry and molecular biology, cum laude. Emma L. Kaplinger, biochemistry and molecular biology, cum laude. Amanda Grace Cassius, chemistry, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Caitlin Marie Kreider, environmental sciences. Elizabeth Marie Cronin, computer science, cum laude. Catherine Renee Marguerite Crutchfield, chemistry. Jack Palmer Dempsey, chemistry, cum laude. Umu Diallo, chemistry. Rin Donati, neuroscience. Ava Louise Dunn, biology, magna cum laude. Taylor Marie Dupree, biology, cum laude. Jana Mohammed Taman El Abiad, physics, cum laude. Colin Farley, computer science. Paul Victor Friedman, computer science, cum laude. Adrian Maximus Garcia, neuroscience and business, double major, cum laude. Lauren Elizabeth Gale, computer science, cum laude in absentia. Maxwell Allen Gorman, computer science. Sadie Vanille Gray, neuroscience, cum laude. Audrey Kate Griffith, environmental sciences and philosophy, double major, magna cum laude. Jasper Alton Hames, neuroscience, cum laude. Noor Y. Hamada, neuroscience. Kiara Emma Harper, neuroscience, magna cum laude. Caden Montrell Harris, Computer Science. Catherine Elizabeth Hazelwood, Physics and Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, double major, magna cum laude. Sarah Elizabeth Heckman, Biology. Audrey Marie Heidbreder, Chemistry and Spanish, double major, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Jessica Grace Helm, Biology. Nicholas Miller Hempel, Neuroscience. Jordan James Henderson, Computer Science. Golam Hisham, Computer Science. Francis Henry Hone, Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, cum laude. Jonas Beckett Hostetler, Chemistry, cum laude. Catherine Amanda Howell, Biology, cum laude. Julia Melilani Hutchison, Computer Science, magna cum laude. Enoch Raul Ibarra, Computer Science. Malak S. Ibrahim, Neuroscience, cum laude. David Wesley Jackson, Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. Zachary Ethan Johns, Computer Science. Alexander Joseph Jourdain, Biology. Vivian Hope Kalb, Environmental Sciences. Jetmeet Carr, Neuroscience, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa in absentia. Ryan James Kenner, Neuroscience, cum laude. Arij Ehmood, Neuroscience. Ahmood Khan, sorry. Soo Jun Kim, Computer Science. Tejio Sire Knox, Computer Science. Bhavesh Kota, Chemistry. James Otto Kuhnhen, Physics. Agda Ali Maria Laxo, Computer Science, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Shreya Lankata, Biology in absentia. Bak Hong Chi Lee, Mathematics and Computer Science, double major, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa, honors research in absentia. Siddharth Loganathan, Mathematics, cum laude. Mary Elizabeth Lamanik, Neuroscience, cum laude. Aiden Kurt Lonian, Computer Science, cum laude. Margot Ray Lukemeyer, Chemistry, cum laude. Chung Mai, Computer Science, magna cum laude. Lorenzo Elder Martinez, Biology and Environmental Sciences, double major, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. William Reed May, Biology, cum laude, traveling with the baseball team. Miriam Ann McLean, Chemistry, magna cum laude. Hildy Elizabeth Medovich, Environmental Sciences. Kathleen Frances Motter, Chemistry, magna cum laude. Rory Monahan, Biology. Joshua John Ludwig Morris, Neuroscience and Chemistry, double major, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Indira Sunil Mamareddy, Chemistry, in absentia. Milena Nerit Murov, Biology, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Drew Allen Murphy, Neuroscience, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Jacob Musicante, Biology, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Ella Ann Knickerbocker Myers, Biology, cum laude. Kayla Vo Wynn, Biology, cum laude. Sandy Ann Wynn, Biomathematics, magna cum laude. Addison Grace Nicholson, Biology, cum laude. Adugo Kaleche Wachuku, Computer Science. Malcolm Marcel Oliver, Chemistry, cum laude. Israel Ordaz, Biology. John Allen Osenak, Computer Science, cum laude. Ellen Oyong, Computer Science, cum laude. Braden Shanks Polera, Physics, magna cum laude. Yasmin Perlepesozoa, Biology, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Ria Pramod, Mathematics. Eleanor Julia Pratka, Neuroscience, cum laude. Michaelan Love Ron, Neuroscience and Health Equity, double major. Evan Daniel Reeder, Neuroscience and Chemistry, double major, magna cum laude. Calliope Maria Reeves, Neuroscience, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Erin Eileen Riley, Neuroscience, cum laude. Mackenzie F. Roach, Computer Science, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Lauren Ashton Roberts, Chemistry. Delaney Lee Robertson, Biology, magna cum laude. Kate Ann Robinson, Environmental Sciences. Lillian Robinson, Biology. Pierce Meter Robinson, Biology, cum laude. Judith Lila Ann Saunders, neuroscience, cum laude. Jasper Wolf Schertz, physics and mathematics, double major, cum laude. Riley Ann Shutt, computer science. Adita Sitharaman, neuroscience, cum laude. Jack Daniel Siegerman, computer science. Ryan Keith Seiler, biology, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Manal Abu Shala, biology, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Lauren Quinyang Win Shang, neuroscience, cum laude. Jude Everett Shive, mathematics, magna cum laude, honors research. Shashir Shrethra, computer science, magna cum laude in absentia. Talal Sohail Siddiq, chemistry, magna cum laude. Sophia Laney Snodgrass, biology. Mackenzie Dale Soldano, biology, magna cum laude. Cameron James Stevenson, computer science, magna cum laude. Ali Ibrahim Sultan Ali, biology, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Abhinav Sunkara, chemistry, cum laude. Mohammed Omer Tahir, computer science, cum laude. Talia Takahashi, biochemistry and molecular biology. Sarah Madison Taylor, environmental sciences and computer science, double major. Kittist A. Tushel, biology, magna cum laude. Jonathan Luis Torres, chemistry.
I'm still going, boy.
Bryce Joseph Tuckner, biology. Ushwina Metha Bethinathan, neuroscience, magna cum laude. Daniel Eduardo Villamil, computer science, cum laude. Maya Lily Vong, neuroscience, magna cum laude. Alex James Walcott, neuroscience, cum laude. Malik Gerald Waters, computer science, cum laude. David Henry Wemmer, biochemistry and molecular biology. Cadence Gabrielle White, chemistry, cum laude. Jack Bedivere Witten, environmental sciences, cum laude. Jesse Jonathan Williams III, biology, cum laude. Maya Mills Williams, biology. Trevor Paul Williams, computer science. Allison Louise Wolf, biology and French and Francophone studies, double major, cum laude. Manasa Yepuru, computer science and neuroscience. Virginia Ann Yoder, biology, cum laude. Ava Lynn York, computer science. Eman Yusuf, biology, magna cum laude. Sophia June Samora, computer science. Philip Thomas Zenny III, biology. Karen Zhang, computer science, cum laude. We now move to the candidates for both the Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts degrees. Suha Farhan Aslam, Chemistry BS, Spanish BA, summa cum laude. Naisha Anom Chaudhary, Biochemistry and Molecular Biology BS, English BA, magna cum laude. Owen Lawrence Foster, Mathematics BS, Economics BA, cum laude. Alice Marjorie Hale, Environmental Sciences BS, History BA, cum laude. Grace Ann Flournoy Hodgson, Biology BS, History BA, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Abigail Albu McLean, Mathematics BS, Economics BA, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Peyton Elizabeth Rohrig, Biology BS, Business BA, magna cum laude. Bernadette Thuy Trinh Truong, Biochemistry and Molecular Biology BS, Health Equity BA. Abriel Kira Unda, Computer Science BS, Business BA, cum laude. There is one candidate for the post-baccalaureate certificate in health equity, Kelsey Alice Bradford, health equity in absentia. We now move to the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in accounting. Amal Hajau Abdi, accounting. Adriana Emily Almader, accounting. Michael Colin Arney, accounting. Caleb Zachary Bailey, accounting. Tyler Clark Cook, accounting. Trung Quoc Do, accounting. William Lee Gussler, accounting. Jacob Evan Lehman, accounting. Henderson James Reynolds, accounting. Joshua Michael Salisbury, accounting in absentia. Sung Min Yu, accounting in absentia. Congratulations to all of our graduates and your families. President Collins.
We also want to recognize the graduates who have completed additional academic requirements for military commissioning. Thank you for your service to our country. This year we recognize, and please stand when I call your name, Liam Conroy, Army. Matthew Feast, Marine Corps. Sadie Vanille Gray, Air Force. John Siebold, Army. Cameron James Stevenson, Space Force. Ann Wilford, Army. Congratulations. Others who have been honored throughout this commencement season are listed along with their honors research in your commencement program. Finally, we also recognize the distinguished members of our faculty who are retiring this year. We are so grateful for the work of Dee Birnbaum, Shubho Banerjee, Tom Bryant, Darlene Lopreet, and David McCarthy. We are so grateful for your years of service to Rhodes. Okay, class of 2026, you can now move your tassel to the other side of your cap. You have graduated. In your program are the words of the alma mater. Please stand if you are able and join us in the singing of the alma mater, led by members of the Rhodes Singers, Caitlin Baker, Jackie Boyanchek, Zach Fairber, Victoria Hibbs, Kevin Lechner, Hildy Medovich, Mylena Marav, Adugo Wachuku, Alan Osanok, Pierce Robinson, Blake Shirley, and Robin Sullivan. Following today's recessional, please join us in Oak Alley for a celebration honoring the extraordinary class of 2026. Congratulations.
Dear alma mater, kind of faith that links our lives with thee, for God's own power that made thee great is the truth that makes us free. Thy torch has touched our hearts with flame, our yearning souls refined. Through thee we learn the higher aim and train the truer mind. O leader to the larger light, Rhodes College 'neath thy wings.